mind, aankheं, the eye खोल mean to open. We open the eyes of the mind and there we're going to see that beautiful form. Any form that you choose. Today is Shanivar. What is Shanivar? Shanivar is Saturday. The ruling deity today is Pavanaputra Hanuman. So when we close our eyes, we see that form of God. And we say, Lord, आप सारे जगत के उत्पत्ति करने वाला, सर्व संपत्ति दायक, सर्व प्रकाश, सुख के दाता, कृपा करी के और हमारे अंदर सुंदर गुण शुभ कर्म प्राप्त कीजिए. आपको मैं बारंबार नमस्कार करता हूँ, Lord. We, the family of the bereaved, we are gathered here tonight, Lord. It is our request, wheresoever you and you alone know exactly where that soul is. And all of us here, we are requesting you, O Lord, wheresoever that soul may be, if that soul is suffering for any amenities in life, be it food, water, clothing, or shelter, we asking you, Lord, please provide everything for that soul, so that soul is going to be comfortable wheresoever that soul is. We also asking you, Lord, the family and children who are alive in this world, please give them the courage and give them that strength so they can stand strong and do everything that is right for that soul. We all say a little word in our hearts together. Gajananam bhutaganadisevitam Kapeta bhakshanam Umasutam shokavinashakarikam Namami Vigneshwar Pankajam, which simply means, O Ganesh Bhagwan, please take that spiritual seat into our hearts, O Lord, and bring peace to us. Vinajare Vipula Mangaladhan Sile Bhaktiarti Nashini Vidanchi Haresh Bande Kirti Pradhe Akila Madhurat De Maharhe Vidya Pradayani Saraswati Naumi Nityam, which simply means, O Mother Saraswati, please take that spiritual seat on our hearts, O Mother, and bring happiness to us. Neelambuja Shyamal Komalangam Sita Samadho Pitubhamu Bhagyam Pano Mahasayak Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham Ekardan Gajabadan Ke Padavando Karjo Kripa Karahu Shivana Dhana Buddhi Barajimur Siyapati Ramachandra Ki Jai Sharanam. एक बार ब्रूसरी वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. We sing the praises of Mother Saraswati. Jai 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 Sri Saraswati Mata. Everyone. Sri Saraswati. Jai 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 Siyama Radhikama. Jai Jai Sri Saraswati. प्रथम विनाऊ में श्री गणेश को दूजे सरस्वती माँ तीजे में बिनाऊ त्रिदेवा को जो यहाँ से जय जय श्री सरस्वती माता चौथे में बिनाऊ पांच सभी को ज्ञान तू दे लगा रामायण की अनुपम कर निभो सागर पार करा रामायण की अनुपम कर निभो सागर पार करा जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता प्रेम से बोल श्री माँ सरस्वती माता की जय। Devotees, I take this pleasure in warmly welcoming each and every one of you to this satsang here tonight. Satsang means congregational worship, or where the devotees of God gather together to pray. We do satsang in churches, we do satsang in mosques, we do satsang in temples, we do satsang anywhere. Wheresoever the devotees or the disciples of God gather to pray, it is called satsang. And many things derive from satsang, devotees. Sometimes you ask a bride, how did you meet the groom? She said, well, we went to a satsang and I saw him. All these things derive from satsang. Sometime a brother not speaking to a brother, and they both of them in satsang together. And they have to shift a chair, and the brother shift the chair for the next brother. They start to talk again. All these good things and all these bad things derive from the thing we call satsang. But according to this book that we read, all religion are being guided by books in this world. Hanuman didn't fall from the sky and tell Pandit what to do. I read a book and I pass the information. My pastor brother read a book, pass the information. My imam brothers read a book, they pass the information. All of us are being guided by books in this world. But this is the modern age, devotees. More and more new books and more new information coming our way for the earlier generation to come in this world. But what this book tells me, that when someone dies in a family, then for 13 nights, according to the status of the family, because it costs a little to gather things and to get things working and to bring a group. It costs a little. According to the status of the family, if they didn't get anybody live to read, like we have here tonight, then every night there must be a gathering. The close family and friends, they gather together, they have some refreshments, and they speak good things about the deceased, and they go to their home. From time immemorial, these things going on. From the days your grandfather was in the lagoon and in the cane field, these things going on in the little jupa. When someone dies, they used to gather together and sing and beat pan and all kind of things. They didn't have drum and things. So it is a generation thing, and we follow the book and we follow the tradition up to today. I am in the business and I could tell you, all deceased, all people who die, does not get what this person who die here getting as tonight. Somebody will read. Sometime I do the funeral and I appoint somebody to do the shaving and I go for the bandara and that's it. No reading. But it is recommended that every night there must be something going on in that home. That is what is recommended. Where the family will gather together, they will play a little bhajan and thing. Every night there's a Ramayana and thing on radio. They could play a little Ramayana and thing. It doesn't matter who Pandit, if the Pandit, you don't like him or what it is. He can't sing or he could sing or whatsoever. But there must be something going on in that home. Now, the question always is why. Always is why. Because many, many things we do as Hindus and people living in this world and we does not know why we do it. But these children, they are Googling and asking the difficult questions. The difficult questions they're asking as to why people bow to the Pandit. Nobody never tell me, they never know. 74 years old and you doesn't still know. Why people has gone bow to the Pandit as they see him? These are the questions. So we have to give these children and them simple means of being a good Hindu, simple means of being a good Christian, simple means of being a good Muslim. No long, long thing again. Children don't want that. They want a little simple, easy to understand. So we as leaders, spiritual leaders, have to take this job of ours, to a different level. Very simple. Simplicity, they call it. So when we gather here tonight, this book tells me that for 13 days and nights, this soul will linger around this place here, you know. That soul is going to linger around the property where that person used to live. This is why it is recommended also to the book that there should not be no hostile talking. There should not be no, well, layman too, we call it quarreling, you know. There should not be none of these things because whatsoever you feed to this soul while it's here, that is what his soul is going to leave on a journey with. A little calmness, a little bhajan in the night, you wake up in the morning, you don't sit down whole day and say God, 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 God and say all kind of prayers. And leave that for me to do. But we have a little job to do and we must be quiet and calm in the home because the soul, whatsoever the soul pick up, negative or positive, that is what is going to take on the journey. So this book tells me, this is the book that guides us as Hindus, what to do, when to do, and most important of all, why to do. Because many, many things, I can tell you 90-something% of the things that we do as Hindu, we does not understand. And it is our duty to explain it. What it says is that the Garu Puran is often recited at funeral ceremonies. This is the Garu Puran. Shraddh ceremony. What is a Shraddh ceremony? Most of the time we hear Shraddh. They have a Shraddh Ramayana Day, but why? Why they have some kind of Ramayana? Shraddh Ramayana is Ramayana read on behalf of the soul. The soul. We have Buddha Ramayana, we have Anniversary Ramayana, we have 9 nights Ramayana, we have 7 night Ramayana. One book and we have all kind of name for it. Right? Shraddh Ramayana, it said, this book, this Garu Puran should be read at that. It do always be read. The reason it that has all the mantras and the instructions at such ceremony. If the rites are performed according to these chanting, the ancestors, not only this soul, but I saw the father and mother there too in a picture, their soul are going to rest in peace too. Their soul is going to get and receive wheresoever they are, probably right here in Twin City, I don't know. Probably in India, in Australia, somewhere in the bush like a deer, somewhere flying in the sky like a bird, I don't know. But this is why I mentioned that true God, we call on God to deliver whatsoever. So this is why when we're doing these type of ceremonies, devotees, I am not a saint. I try my best to do the right thing because of my grandchildren. If I do anything wrong and do anything out of the way, it is going to follow my children and grandchildren. 2 out of 10 realize that. 2 out of 10. So these other ancestors receive what is being given on the, especially the Bhandara day, and especially the Shaving day too. On the occasion of the ceremony, pinda are offered to the ancestors. Pinda. You know what is pinda? Many times we offer pinda, and we does not know why we offer pinda. And sometimes, somebody take part in offering pinda, and if you ask that person and all, they doesn't know why they offer pinda. Why does offer pinda? The book states why we offer pinda. Pinda is material to build a good body for the soul. State right here. I don't know what material God used to make our body, but we use pinda as material. We offer pinda as material to build a body. All of us here want papi body to get, soul to get a good body. All of us. Why when you go to maternity, you see some children born with a body defective, some children born with a body nice, you say, look how cute and nice this baby is. Pinda. Pinda is the reason for that. Many times I ask a 74-year-old person, why we does offer pinda? And he say, Baba tell we offer and we offer. So we must be able to know, devotees, why we do things in this world. And finally it says here, what it says, that the rites has to be repeated exactly 1 year after the person died. That is when we do the yearly. The yearly can be done, devotees, in the 11th to 12th month. When we reach the 11th to 12th, the yearly could be done during that month. If we go over 12, then we go into 13, which is not a year. So when you reach 11 to 12, during that month, any time, you could perform the yearly Shraddha, which is also known as the Vaishika Shraddha. That is the final rites. After that rites is performed, and when the Natani Kush grass is being loosed by the Pandit, and instructions is given to take out the food on that time, then when that soul leaves that property, that person becomes an ancestor. Just as how you say your nani and your nana and them is ancestor, after 1 year, papi is going to become the ancestor of the family here. When their children ask now, where you Aja? They say, well, that is my ancestors. So right now, papi is a pret, soul. And the pinda that is being offered by my instructions on every day gives that soul a body that it can survive around this environment here. Garu Purana say. So we must not, devotees, listen to what this one say and listen to what that one say and listen to number 4 station and that station and this station and whose station. The books are all written in English. We must read, but first we must look at the source of the book too, because everybody writing book and some copying over and they're selling and they're doing all type of thing. If the source comes from the Garuda Purana, then we can follow that source. Prem se bole Sri Raja Ramachandra ki Jai. So tonight, this katha we are going to do here. Where is the mother? Where mommy? Right. Tonight we are going to read this katha, and this katha tells us that the love that a mother does show to her children from birth, from the day she is conceived, the love that Mother Kaushalya showed to that Lord Sri Ram as a babe. We are going to listen a little katha, very short. I think we have until 9, we have a lot of time. Right, we have until 9. All right, take your time with her. Sitaram. Ramachandra ki jai. Devotees, you know, when we are in the company of these, well, I know them as celebrities, you know. I don't know if I don't know who will make half their age, because the age limit of man is so decreasing. Now you're striving and you're struggling to live at 60, you know. Hard, terrible. So when we see these people here, we have been blessed to be in a company, regardless of what and who they are, you know. We are blessed to be in their company, because we would never see half of the thing they see and do half of the thing that they do. So we have been blessed. So this katha tells me that Lord incarnated himself for a purpose. Two purposes. He had a curse to pass through, and then Dharti Mata, which is Mother Earth, went to Vishnu Bhagwan in human form and started to complain. You know what she complaining for? Too much of evilness going on the earth, and the weight has been too heavy. I want you to come, Lord, and ease up some of the weight by getting rid of these evil ones. Sometimes when I read this katha, I just say, I feel God should come now. When you're reading these type of gruesome things going on in this world, I feel time for God to come. Whether he come by Caribbean airline or whether he come, how he come, I think he should come now. And try to save us, because there are so many innocent citizens and innocent devotees in this world striving, and they're struggling. It should never be so. It should have never been so. The type of effort we put out as young children, and them put out as young children in them age from then to now, they should have never have to come in this world and go through all what they are going through this hour. So I always think that God should come now. So that Lord take that form as a babe. It was requested by a person who did so much of jap. Jap means sacrifice. And prayed and prayed and prayed and asked that Lord for that gift. And it was granted that gift by that Lord appearing in such a beautiful form as a babe. This Ramayana tells us what it says. विप्रधेनु सुर संत हितालीन मनुष्य अवतार रामानीन मनुष्य अवतार निज इच्छा निर्मित तनु माया गुण गोपाल से आपति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम. तुलसीदास is saying here, प्रभु ब्राह्मण गौ देवताओं को संतों की हेतु अवतार लिया है, जो माया के गुणों और इंद्रियों के उन्होंने के अपने इच्छा शरीर धारण कर. God took that form of his own likeness. What he reminds is, the Lord took that form, devotees, for the sake of the Brahman, the cow, the gods and the saints. The Lord took a human form, and assuming a form, a body form of his own will. He assumed that body form of his own will. What the Bible says, God made man with his own image and likeness. So like we're going on the same road, you know. Yes, we're going on the same road. All of us striving to go to Port of Spain, but we're using different roads. I use the highway, you use the main road, the next one use the avenue, the next one, but hey, we're going to meet in town. All of us going to town. But I using the highway and you using the main road, I don't think you should vex with me. You shouldn't vex with me while I using it. But the nature of a human being is to criticize one. I don't know, God didn't take that away from us. We have that. So it continued to say here, assuming a body form of his own will. And long ago when a child born in a village, devotees, the entire village used to know, you know. Now sometimes it's only when the child running in the yard by the neighbor, then you say, hey, it has some children there. I remember when my little brother and my little sister born, the fellas who used to ride bicycle and go to work, they had to stop there to hear that child voice be in the airs before they leave to go to work. They feel so satisfied for the day. Wait, me get up already? Asking my mother. The entire village was happy when a child born. This is what happened there. The entire city of Ayodhya was very happy, devotees, when someone born. Do you know it have devotees in this world, when a child born, they cry? They cry. But we have to respect them. Our religion, our dharma teaches us that we must be able to respect every man's way of life. Show respect. The Madras people, when children born, they cry. So investigation now, you have to be inquisitive to know, Why they cry? They cry for the hardship that child is going to face. How much I paying for 25 pounds of flour now? When he had to buy flour for you himself, how much you pay? For his house. Eh? You might have to grow your own flour. Look how much I paying for flour now. So this is why they cry. They know the hardship to come. And it is getting so every day and every day and every day. So that babe, devotees, he appeared, Lord Vishnu Bhagwan appeared in that babe form in the presence of Mother Kaushalya. And the mother there, from the time that mother is being conceived with that child, then the mother always with that child. And when that child born, who does be in the room? The mother. It had somebody used to call him middle lady. I don't know if they still have that. The mother, the middle lady, the child, and God for them. That's right, the shaman, yeah. Those four people and the mother there right there with the child. So what a mother does go through. I wonder if plenty children realize what a mother does go through to bring that child in this world and to uplift and big that child big so. So it tells us now the child born, everybody is happy. What happened there? सुनिश्चय शुरुदन परम प्रिय वहानी समब्र चली आए सब रहनी. Everyone. जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय. हर्षि जहाँ तहाँ धाये आनंद मगन सकल पूर्ण वासी. Everyone. जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय. बालक का रोना सुनकर कि जिस प्यारी बानी है, listen now. The child has been born in the home and we are in the yard, everybody in the yard, and we only waiting to hear the echo of that cry. We only waiting to hear the echo of that cry. And the middle-aged devotees, I work maternity sometimes, gone by a couple of years ago, and they still call when they get in problems with 9 months and 10 months and 10 and a half months, they still call the lady. It had a lady, I don't know if she's still alive. They still call her from on the hill, Mount Hope on the hill. Doctors used to still call her to help. And the maid lady would know everything. Good birth is now we having mothers with pain and mothers with this and mothers with that. Long time we didn't have these things. And my mother used to be, I remember my mother pregnant, 7 something months, nearly 8 months, and she cutting cane. Yeah, she cutting cane. And she used to go in this rice land and thing and sit down on the bagada. Bagada is very straw, is. And my father and we little fellas running all about in the water and thing. Not now, it can't happen now. On hearing the most delightful sound of a baby cry, all the queens and everybody came in haste. All that was present, there was a lot of joy. They was happy that this child is being born, devotees. Just as when a child born many, many years ago, everybody happy, you know. They used to call this ladies group to sing, you know. This ladies group used to come there and sing with the little spoon and the little bottle and lota and all these type of things. They used to be so joyous. Nobody, you didn't have to fear anything. Now you have to fear to hold a little something in your home. Why it should be so? You have to fear to hold a little something in your home. From the time you see 2, 3 car park up, there's something going on, something you have to be in fear. You have to close your gate, you have to close your door, you have to be on the watch out, you have to have security. All these things. Why? Why it should not be? It continues to say, Dasrath ji ka putra janma sravan karke ki brahmanand sama gaya. Man mein bada prem hua. On the feelings of the father Dashratha was that of extreme happiness. The father does celebrate all how. He does celebrate all how. Knock his chest and say, well, I'm a man today. All how. He celebrate. But you know, my grandfather devotees, I remember when my father had his first son, one elder than me. He buy a leather belt. My grandfather make him buy a leather belt. He said, tie your waist to that. When he had his second boy, now that is me, he went by my grandfather and he said, well, Pa, I have a next boy, you know. He said, well, pull the belt to the next hole. You mean tighten? You mean tighten it? He said, you know, he had 2, you had to tighten your waist. When he had 3, well, when he had 6, he couldn't tighten it again, poor fella, he couldn't tighten it again. But the strategy and the point that he was making there is that more responsibility. You have to tighten your waist, devotees. These books show us all type of things. This Ramayana has everything in it. This have politics in it, it have life in it, it have death in it, it have everything. Everything that you want to know is found. This is a compilation. So the father celebrated. Now he rose from where he was seated and he came directly where he was sitting and came to that spot. He only want to come now to see what's taking place. But you know, when a child born, devotees, for a certain amount of days, inside the room was out of bunks of fathers. We know that, right? The fathers and them couldn't be inside the room. The maid lady put out everybody. Only the mother and the child. And that mother will watch that. Don't ever pray to see a mother get angry to save her child. Don't pray to see that. I witnessed that. I witnessed that. You want to know where that mother get that strength from. So this is why, devotees, we have our mother alive in this world. She have to play the role of father and mother. No. So if not, no other time that she need our attention is now. This is when she need. My mother is alive now, devotees. My father died 18 years now. And the only time she what do you think a mother does want from her children? Salary? No, I don't know if some does want. All the mother want to see is the children happy. That is all. That is all, you know. The mother and father, all I want to see in my entire life is my 2 children and my grandchildren. I want to see them. The day then something sad with them, well, I sad too. That's all they want. So this Ramayana showing me here tonight that mother, devotees, will sit with that child and watch that child like a hawk. No flying thing can get on that child, devotees. And you know, when a child is being born, we never could know who's that child. We never could know who is that child. So devotees, we have to take care of the children, didn't we? And who does it better than the mother? Whether you believe that child is God, whether you believe that child, whether you believe, you see, belief is something, devotees. We live by belief, you know. We have no authorization to say, my God is better than yours, and he God better than he one, and he one better than he one. Who we to say that? We have to believe in what we believe in. This bhajan tells us. What does bhajan tells us? A beautiful bhajan tells us, whether you believe God is Ram, or whether you believe God is Allah, or whether you believe God is Christ, believe in what you believe in and be a good person. Devotees, this bhajan tells us. Let's all sing together. ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान सबको सन्मति दे भगवान साया जग तेरे संतान साया जग तेरे संतान Everyone together ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान Whether you believe in Bhagwan, whether you believe in Ram, whether you believe in Christ, whether you believe in Allah, believe in what you believe in, devotees, and go straight through. Don't look so on who believe in what and who believe in what. Believe in what you believe in, and you're going to get results. The bhajan tells us what it says. इस धरती पर बसने वाले सब है तेरी गोद के पाले इस धरती पर बसने वाले सब है तेरी गोद के पाले सब है तेरी गोद के पाले कोई नीचन कोई महान सबको सन्मति दे भगवान सबको सन्मति दे भगवान साया जग तेरे संतान साया जग इस धरती God made one earth, धरती is the earth for everybody. He didn't make an earth for the brown, an earth for the blue, an earth for the white. He did not. One earth for everybody. And everybody, God is expected to live in love and unity on that earth, devotees. He is expecting that. Is dharti par basne wale means just enough. Basne wale means this earth is just enough for us, you know. But we want something else. We want other than what God made, devotees. And koi neech and koi mahan. The poor one and the rich one, right here we there, you know. Right here we there, devotees. All of us are the children of God. The bhajan tells us what it says again. काटो नस्लों के बतवाले झूठ कहाँ ये तेरे द्वारे काटो नस्लों के बतवाले झूठ कहाँ ये तेरे द्वारे झूठ कहाँ ये तेरे द्वारे तेरे लिए सब एक समान सबको सन्मति दे भगवान सबको सन्मति दे भगवान साया जग तेरे संतान साया जग तेरे झूठ. What is झूठ? Right? The false thing in this world, no? The false thing, the lies in this world. How far you could do that? You know, there is an English song that says, God is looking at us from a distance. You know that English song? He is looking at us, devotees. Everything comes out of our mouth. He is listening to us. He's looking at us. Bhagavad Gita says, without a pair of eyes. He listens to every conversation without a pair of ears. He looks at us, devotees. He knows what is in our heart. And our heart, devotees, when we lost our loved ones in this situation, then we grieve. We grieve, devotees. You know what we grieve for? We would not see that person in this form again. We would not. Don't mind what we do. We can't see Papi in that form again. No. We could never, devotees. If I just say, finally, what it says? जन्म को कोई मोल नहीं है, जन्म मनुष्य का तोड़ नहीं है, जन्म का कोई मोल नहीं है, जन्म मनुष्य का तोड़ नहीं है, जन्म मनुष्य का तोड़ नहीं है, कर्म से है सबकी पहचान, सबको सन्मति दे भगवान, सबको सन्मति दे भगवान, सारा जग। जन्म इज birth, जन्म का कोई मोल नहीं, जन्म मनुष्य is man. You know how much good things we have to be born to do, to be born as a man, as a human being. A human being have all his senses, you know. If a dog come in at you, one thing that dog could do is to bite you. If a snake come in at you, one thing he could do is to sting you. A bird come in at you, he could pick you or scratch you. A human being, an ignorant human being come in at you, he could do you anything. He could pelt you, he could throw you down, he could do anything to you. But we have devotees to do a lot of good things to become a human being. He does not become a human being just like that. We get the opportunity, let us make use of it. The bhajan say, finally, सबको सन्मति दे भगवान, सारा जग तेरे संतान, सारा जग तेरे संतान, सारा जग तेरे संतान। प्रेम से बोल श्री वामपति महादेव की जय। So we have a lot of instructions and a lot of guides to live a good life in this world. But you know, the bad life is so easy to live. And it is so attractive. The wrong things so attractive in this world. Look at what happened here. So much of joy. This child has been born, devoted. The feelings of that stress. Well, you know what he said? He said that same Lord, whose very name it is a blessing to hear, has come to my home. So we does not know when a child born, who come in there? Who is that child, devotees? We does not know. Then he summoned the ministries, devotees. Then he started to have a little music and thing. Now it have the appropriate music to play when a child born, you know. The appropriate things and the songs to sing, you know. All these different songs. They used to be singing long ago. Nani know what all them songs. Mommy know all them songs and them. They used to sing nice suhar and thing. They used to sing all these things. It's for wedding and thing. All them nice songs and then they beat the drum and thing and they used to sing some nice songs and thing long ago. And it's to have everybody so happy, devotees. And you know, a long time we used to get a squinch we mouth a kind of way to eat the halwa, because you know what they used to say it was? They used to say that, you know, and we used to squinch a kind of way to eat it, and then my mother used to say, no, eat a little bit, son, eat a little bit, and we used to taste the halwa a little bit. They used to eat that, you know, and they used to say all kind of different things they used to say about the halwa, and this time it wasn't that, you know. But you know, that used to bring the joy. That just bring the joy, and everybody, 11:30, 12 o'clock in the night, three little children walking alone, nothing to fear. And we had street light. Hardly had street light. We used to depend on the little zuguni, the little fly and them in the road, the little light fly and them to go home. And we can't see the house. We had to do so to see the house, but the dog and them used to know when we come in. It was so happy, devotees. If God come and ask me to live a week again, to live a week in my past, back in my past, He want to give me a chance. I want to live them times. Truly, truly, I want to live them. It was so happy. It was so, so, so happy in these times, devotees. And what happened, the first thing that we used to do, according to the books, according to our mothers devotees, but before we start the ceremony when the child born, for the mother devotees, I want to ask my daughter to sing a little bhajan, and she sing a little bhajan too, and then mommy go sing a little bhajan, come. You know devotees, little grandson here,
feedback. शिव शंकर भोले भाले भोले, भक्तों के रखवाले तुमको लागो प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाले भोले, भक्तों के रखवाले तुमको लागो प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। को मिटाने वाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाले भोले, भक्तों के रखवाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। हर 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 महादेव की नारा, नर नारी कर घर का प्यारा। हर 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 महादेव की नारा, नर नारी कर घर का। दीप तुम्हारा, तेल तुम्हारा, दुनिया का सब खेल तुम्हारा। ये खेल खिलाने वाले, त्रिभुवन को बजाने वाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाले भोले, भक्तों के रखवाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। नाम तुमको मेरा प्रणाम।
प्रेम से बोल श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. I think Mami is from the El Dorado Shiva Mandir, no? So she will sing a little bhajan for us now.
वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचानुर्मर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है। ऐसे श्री भगवान को, ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है। यशोद जिनकी मैया है, नंद जी बापैया है। यशोद जिनकी मैया है, नंद जी बापैया है। ऐसे श्री गोपाल को, ऐसे श्री गोपाल को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है। चराओ ऐसे कृपा थाम को ऐसे कृपा थाम को बारंबार प्रणाम है बारंबार प्रणाम है कृष्ण जिनका नाम है गोकुल चिन्हता धाम है ऐसे श्री भगवान को ऐसे श्री भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है बारंबार प्रणाम है
Sri Umapati Mahadev ki Jai. Devotees, you know, when this time reaches in a family and someone passes away in a family, devotees, you know, we sing these lovely bhajans and we ask God, we sing it with such feeling and we ask God, Lord, wheresoever the departed soul, that person who was the father of this home, wheresoever his soul is at this present time, Lord, you and you alone know exactly where those souls are. And we ask in you, Lord, wheresoever that soul is, if that soul is suffering for any amenities in life, we ask you to please provide everything for that soul, Lord. So that soul is going to be comfortable wheresoever that soul is. You know, this book we are guided by what it says again. It continues to say, devotees, the information that we get in these books, we have to follow these information. The information that my Christian brothers get in the Holy Bible, they follow them. And the Muslims get in the Holy Quran, they follow them also. What it says here, Vishnu Bhagwan continue with the recital of funeral ceremony. He said, after the dead body has been burnt, there is a 10-day period of mourning and impurity for the sons. This period is known as Asaucha. We have the Hindi word for it named Asaucha. This is why we check from the day that the person burned, 10 days we check for the shaving. Look at right here in the book. Right? There is a 10-day period of mourning and impurity for the son. Now there are some instructions here. But you know these instructions, devotees, if we have if God gave us 10 instructions in this book and we could do 4 good, let me do the 4 and he will be satisfied. Don't try to do 10 and then we're doing it halfway. It wouldn't work that way. If God gave us some instructions, we make sure that we do 4 properly, we're good to go. What the first thing it says here, what it says, he said, if they know us during this period, they said the person who doing the funeral, devotees, he must bathe 3 times a day. Well, you know that we could leave out that one. We could leave out that one because sometimes you're correlating for it to bathe 1 time self. So the 3 times a day to bathe, we could leave out that one, right? The next instructions is very easy for us to do. We are accustomed to that. That is part of our religion. It said that you must not eat any meat. But that is a normal thing for us Hindus. Well, my life is about not eating any meat. My life is not about that. Right? So during this 13 days, no meat must be consumed. So that is one. Another one, devotees, it says that they have to sleep on the floor. Well, you get the better, it has no posturepedic and no pedic to touch this floor. It don't have no sleep. Let's face the facts. You get the best rest on the floor with a little piece of sponge and a pillow and a sheet. So for this 13 days, well, we could leave out that one because, I mean, you want the posturepedic and thing to sleep and think comfortable and thing. But I remember when my father died, my mother put me with a piece of sponge inside the room where he is still asleep. And she put me on the corner, so a piece of sponge, a coverlet and a pillow. And the deer lighting inside there. I didn't have no problem, I lie down comfortable. You know when my problem start? When my mother took off the light. My problem starts there. As she take off the light, Lord, you hear in me, I see my father's natural stand up by the door. And the life that I live with my father, devotees, when we go out, both of us go out together, people used to call us friends, Call your friend inside, He said, no, I'm a son. He said, all right, sorry. Call your friend, call your son inside. We used to live as partners. We in the garden together, too, we mowing plants and we go in race. That is the life I live with my father, so I never fear my father. Even dead or alive, I didn't fear him. So I watch him now in the dark. Well, you've seen it have a light in the kitchen, and where he stand up now, you're seeing the shadow with the light there, with the glare of the light. So, like this camera, watching through that door there now, I'd have a light there. I could see the focus of the camera there. So I looking at the person standing there, and I'm trying to make him out. But I know he's my father. I mean, in my psyche, I know he's my father. And I'm trying to see what I could see, how it is look when you're dead. I'm trying all type of things to experience at that time. But I say, Ma, come put on the light. And the first night was kind of thing, second night, and the third night, well, I sleep comfortable. So this is two things we can do. Sleep on the floor, and we must not eat any meat. All studying and donation of alms are forbidden. If somebody's studying in this home for an important exam, they could go elsewhere and to study. No studying in this home. And donation, if somebody come begging at the home there, they could tell them, well, we have a death in the family, and they could come back in next 2 weeks and thing, right? So that is so much. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4. Now this one is very important. It says here that the combing of hair is not permitted. Now, which means to say you have hair, you can't comb your skull. So I does not see nowhere in any text where it says that as the person die, you have to shave your head. I don't know where my Pandit brothers get it from. I don't know, probably, I am not the best, I don't know research 100%. Probably they could, and I asked if they could enlighten me when I go Pandits meeting and thing, and nobody could tell me and explain that to me. Well, it's a form of respect. No. Don't come and tell me it's a form of respect. No, we're looking at serious business here. Serious, look, the book says the combing of hair is not permitted. You can't comb your bald head. Which means to say during this Asaucha time you have hair. So this is what we have to follow the book and follow it right. Not because you're a Pandit, you want to do what you want, or you're a priest, you want to do what you... No, the book is the book. That's follow the book. So that is 5. Food is to be eaten from clay vessels or placed on leaves. Well, we leaf food more on a leaf. I eat on a leaf any day from a plate. The only thing is I can't eat soup and thing on a leaf, right? But we could do that. So that is 6. No other vessels are on one of those 10 days, that person must also fast throughout the entire day. Well, that's hard to do in this time. Because I am going to tell you, I am no doctor, but listen what I'm going to tell you. When I have to do puja in the morning early, if my dulahina make a sandwich for me, I can't move, My body needs the salt in it to start to move. I don't depend on the salt, If I have to do it, I have to do it. But I just feel better, I just feel more energetic. I must eat something salty in the morning. Everybody reach this age could test it out. You have to eat a little salty thing in the morning to start to move. So if you tell me, Baba, you fast and thing to come and do my prayers, I say, well, I have to eat something. If I do in your prayers and I fall down, they go say, oh, look the Baba fall. And that is the end of that. And they go say that, Bhaiya? They go say that. I have to seek about my health and my thing to come and sit down there and doing puja is the energy, Doing this is the energy, It's the energy. So that is about 7 or 8 devotees. We could do these things. We could do 1 or 2 things. What it continue to say here now? It say here Pinda. Why is Pinda offered? Pinda is offered to build a body for the soul. It's going to say that here now, devotees. The Sapendas of a dead person are his sons. The first person who are entitled to perform the funeral rites are the sons. The first person. Now the book tells you here, if that person doesn't have any sons or doesn't have any brother, then they have a daughter and the daughter could do it. I don't know if I must be the first person devotees must make the daughter. Do I follow the book? Police can't arrest me for following the book. I mean, they're arresting you for anything now, you know. If I follow the book here, they can't arrest me because 14 years ago I made 4 daughters and the mother. The father died at 47. He had 4 daughters and the mother made 5. I make them do everything. And plenty questions. Phone burning up, plenty questions. One of the most important questions that I had to answer was, Baba, when the shaving they reach, what them girl and them go do? Look how old everybody get that age and that age and over 65. And if I ask that question, nobody know. The book says that you could clip the end of the hair and you could clip your nails, your fingernails and your toenails by the river, and you could perform the rites. The book says that. But it does not debar the daughter at all from doing that funeral part. Because they have no sons, and the brother and he ain't talking for 20 years over a plum tree. And it was over 2 kuchap tree there, must he fall in he land, that fall in he drain so. They ain't talking, so he want to do the funeral. And all these different things. That's reality, is reality. Because he had a brother and the brother come in the funeral. I don't know if he knew was the funeral day or not. They had to hold him up because he was totally intoxicated. Totally. And he come and 18 years you ain't talk to your brother, you come that day to cry. So it says his sons could do it, the grandson could do it, that is his son. The brothers could do it, the nephew could do it, that is the brother's son. And you see the sister is going to marry and make a generation down in Londonville side. It won't carry the lineage of the father here. They will carry a different lineage on that side. Right? So it is they who are entitled to perform the funeral. If none of these are available, then the wife, this part was left out. Sometimes when my pundits brothers reading things, they just leave out 1, 2 lines. You know, what they want you to hear, they will leave it out. But I feel this was left out many, many years ago. The wife could perform the rites. Mommy, if they have nobody, then mommy could have do the rites, and if something happened to he could have do the rites. The book saying that here, look at here. And if the wife not available, then the king has to take upon himself the duties of performing the funeral. We have no king and thing in Trinidad and thing, right? But who they respect as a king is a person in a village. You know, long time, all the villagers had that. If a child given trouble, and they say, carry down by the old man, there you go, carry the child. And we saw that in all them village by Dari Baba and by all of them. That person who live in a life could perform the funeral. But that person have to stay here, devotees, for 13 days and perform the pinda and the tilanjan thing. If a person does not, this part was hidden and all from us long time. This part, I am sure that this was hidden. If a person knows that he or she does not have anybody to do any part for them, then he or she can perform his Shraddha ceremony himself in advance before he died. He could do yun shaving and he could do yun thing, and so when he died, they just burn him. Syavara Ramachandra ki jai. So these important issues was hidden long time ago, because it doesn't reach to that. It doesn't reach to these things. Most of the time when somebody died, they have somebody to do it. Somebody qualified to do it. Most of the time. And Papi is so fortunate, devotees. Papi is so fortunate. Look, he have all his family, his granny, he have his daughters. All of them stand up strong and they decide to do what they had to do for him. Even while he was alive, too, devotees. While we are alive in this world and while we have a mother and a father alive, devotees, we must try our best to give them what they want to eat now. Don't wait for the bandara, then you're looking all about, you're sending India and all kind of thing, to buy all kind of thing to eat and cook, and give them now. Give them now while they're alive in this world. I remember going to this puja store, devotees, you know, these things just worry me. And I see this young guy in his hand with so much money in his hand, and he up and down, his father died, and he want to send India for all the goods to cook, and he want to send for a pandit in India to do it. And while his father was alive, the lady in his store told him, while his father was alive, he used to well advantage the father. So you think it makes sense? You have a little extra something in your hand, you want to send India now to buy all the goods, and you want to send for a pandit in India. I will bring him down here, man, I want him to do his father rights. What are you doing that for? So while we are alive in this world, we must go by, have we mother alive, we must look to we mother and sing a little song and thing for Sheena. Not Sundar Poop one thing, you're going to sing that, you could sing and tu kitni achhi hai, tu kitni bholi hai, pyari pyari hai, oh ma, oh ma, oh ma, oh ma. Don't pray for that mother face to have a little odd look on it, devotees. God wouldn't like you for that. If God's standing up there and your mothers and fathers standing up there and you walk up to bow to God, He's going to turn away from you. You have to pass the test with your mother and father and then He talk to God. So if you and your mother are doing well and you back up a truck and you fill it with flowers and you go in the temple, you get nothing. You get nothing. You're going to the temple and singing Rama, Rama, Bhajaram, and you and your mother are talking. What you're going to tell God when you go there, devotees? Look at what happened to this babe. Arti was done by all. They come and they perform arti for this child, devotees. This is the step that these people take to bring us in this world. Everybody come and they wave the light on behalf of the child. They all began to sing, devotees. They sing different songs now. What song they sing? Let us sing one, devotees. Das maas rahe jab garb hi. 9 months, mommy taught you there. Tab hi Prabhu se tum call kiya. मैं बाहर को हरि भक्ति करो ते ही कारण लोग भय दुखिया इतिहाई जगत में भूल गयो. We just forget. भूल गयो means to forget, no? While we in our mother womb, you know what we're talking to God and saying, Lord, if you only let me out of this dark dungeon, I would not forget your name for one moment. And when we born and come here, what we do? I will go tomorrow night in the Ramayana, man. Me have time tonight. I have a good movie. I have to go to, I call one of my partner expecting a call from away. I can't come tonight. The Ramayana done. We just forget the promise that we make. Itiyai jagat mein bhool gayo, tehi karan log baye dukhiya. Kabhi dighal ge man ko set karo, भज राम सिया जिन जन्म लिया. हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, संदेश वाला गिर है. हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, संदेश वाला गिर है. हरि हो राम मिलन. रावतवा में इंद्रियन पगिया, भाव के पंथ चले. अरे भाव के पंथ चले, सने सवाला गिर गे. हरि हो राम मिलन कब हो, सने सवाला गिर गे. हरि हो वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहु विधि पर वेद. That same Lord name who we read in all the Vedas and the Puran has come to my home. This is why when a child born at your home, he doesn't know who it could be. They must treat that as something very important, devotee. That is not a joke and that is nothing to play with. When a child born and when somebody dies, you don't play with these things, devotees. The bhajan says, what it says? Ved Puran Granth Bahu Vidhi Par Pakare Bandh Bali Are Pakare Bandh Bali Sandit Wala Gir Hari Ho Ram Milan Ka Bahu Sandit Wala पाप ने की में जीवन नया, पाप ने की में जीवन. When we commit a wrong in this world, what we just do? We just run like God. Lord, forgive me, Lord. What we just say? Aakare ki mein jeevan. What we just sing? Bharmati bhajane ki bhor paye, are bhajane ki bhor paye, sade savala gire, hari wo Ram milan kabahu, sade savala gire. तुलसीदास भजे भगवान. When that child born Tulsidas stopped writing, and he ran to that spot, devotees. Tulsidas and all started singing. Oh, everybody's singing now. So happy, so joyous, devotees. The bhajan says, Tulsidas bhaje bhagwan, Ram naam milho, Hare Ram naam milho, Sande savala gire, Hari ho Ram milan kabahu, Sande savala gire, Hari ho Ram milan kabahu, Sande savala gire. प्रेम से बोल श्री राजा रामचंद्र की जय. When that child born in the city of Ayodhya, everyone was happy, devotees. Everyone was happy. This is why you see this age that we reach in now, devotees, we have to look at the other age to come. If they have the thing they call, we just always say the belly. No? We just say the belly. Devotees, we have to have that belly. We have to have that, what it takes. Anytime I have to do a wedding sometime nowadays, devotees, I'm telling you the truth, I just be afraid. Truly, I just be afraid. So where I make 36 years, devotees, sometimes they make 36 hours. So I just make sure and try to counsel the children and them, It becoming, they take God out of the thought now. Everything is God. Long time I remember, it was so happy. This is why my mother and them make all kind of 60-something years and all kind of thing, not too long in Lapaide, we do that anniversary Ramayana. They was married for 60 years, And then when I go 10 years after, do the 70 years, they put the Ramayana date and everything for 70 years anniversary and the Dulahin taking sick. And that was the end of her. We couldn't do the 70th year's anniversary. So we have to bring God in our thoughts. We have to instill God in the children, devotees. In the children, how they could sit like this and they could look at us still. Kekahi and Sumitra also give birth to lovely children, to lovely sons, devotees. What does it say here? Kekahi और Sumitra इनके भी पुत्र उत्पन्न हुए. उसे समय की सुख संपत्ति साज समाज सरस्वती के शेष भी nahi. All the deities and them, they assemble at this place here now, devotees. They assemble. And it says here, what it says here, finally. Joya करते त्रैलोकया सुप्रासे. जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम. सो सुख धाम राम उस नाम अखिल लोक दायक विश्राम यक विश्राम राम रक विश्राम अखिल लोक दायक विश्राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. Finally it says here now, what it says? He said, तुलसीदास is telling me now, जो संसार की पालन पोषण कर सकते हो उनका नाम भरत. The first person devotees that he gave this name to. He says, so ऐसे सुख के दो धाम के ऐसे सुख जिसका धाम है उनका नाम राम है. Long ago, my parents and your parents and grandparents were so educated, they just didn't have the education in paper. Written that I have a BSc, I have a this one, I have a, but they were so sensible that they used to put names of the gods for their children. Ram and Sita and Lakshman and Krishna and all these nice beautiful names. So when they call in their children, what are they doing? They praying Krishna, and more Krishna come and more the mother calling Krishna. What's she doing? She praying. So these are the names that they used to put for the children now, devotees. Nice, meaningful names. Now, I mean, I work in schools, to tell you the truth, you can't put no long Indian name for your children now. Pulvasi, I think, is for a long time, mommy. Pulvasi, I think, long time. The children suffer peer pressure for that. They mock them with a name. So we have to look, the first name, the first thing that the mother does do now, she go by the Baba now. She go by the Baba and tell the Baba the time the child born and the day the child born, and the Baba open the patrana and he start to put the name, start to do the thing. Went to bed and went 6 days and went 12 days and they put the name. First one, the eldest boy of yours who is the ocean of mercy and embodiment of joy shall be called Rama. The very home of bliss and comforter of the world is your second son, who supports the universe shall be named Bharata. And he whom the very thought of whom destroys enemies shall be called Shatrughan. Shatrughan and Bharata is hardly here about in Ramayana. But if you go to books like the Hanuman Jyotis, the Hanuman Jyotis is a very powerful book. If you lose something, if somebody is suspect, somebody takes something from your home or takes something from your job or your car, and you go to the Pandit within 8 hours, and you make a pull in the Hanuman Jyotis, you could get an 85 to 90% accurate guide on that item. You could get it. But you can't go 2 days before and say, Baba, look, I lost something, see if we make a check. Nah. Within 8 hours, Hanuman Jyotis, there you will see Shatrughan name and Bharat name and all these names. So they name their children devotees. When you're calling Ram, when you're calling Bharat, you're praying. And what happened there? The final things now, what happened there? The maid lady gone, all the people from the yard gone, and who remained with the child? The mother, the child, and who? God. 3 of them alone. And plenty things we could remember, that how we grew up in this world, we could remember. You remember when your mother used to put the 4 pillow and spread the uruni on top there? And you're sleeping under there for what? No fly to go on you. You remember when she used to put you in the hammock and pin the uruni with the clip and rock you like this? And what she's singing, Rockabye baby. Eh? And now some of the ignorant children, devotees, They're singing for their mother, but they're using the Yankee language. Tell me what you're going to tell God? What you're going to tell God? You know, I just visualize, and some of sometimes my children, my godchildren, they tell me, like, I don't know what kind of psyche you have about. If I ill-treat my mother, and I die and I go by God, and wheresoever God sit down, I just visualize that. He say, hey, come. Use the man where you'll treat your mother. You from Trinidad? Yes, Lord. What you want to tell me now? What you going to say? I sent you in this world and God give you a mother, and that is how you treat that lady, boy? Eh? You can't talk to me now. You know the first thing the human being will say, me? So the children them now they tell me, they say, don't worry, Baba, God go have an iPad. And he go pull you up on the iPad so and he go show you, that is not you. That is not you. Then what I go do now? Tears go fall in my eye and I go say, Lord, forgive me and come to the children, give me a little blind. Too late, devotees. Too late. Too late. Let us do what we have to do now. Let us do it now, devotees. Because we does not know if they are going to be a tomorrow. She's looking at the child now. All mothers just do this, eh? All mothers just do this. She's looking at the child from head to foot now to see if it have any defect on the child. See the care? If she only see 1, 2 bends, so she calling lady, oh God. Lady had a rub. And when you grow up in this world, you advantage in that lady, and that lady gives you life for you there. Which God you talking to? His dark body, which resembled a dark burden lotus, the mark of thunderbolt on his, she's looking at his soul. His waist and stomach was creased in triple fold, and the depth of his navel is that person alone who sees the lady leaving specific instruction to sacred the navel. You remember what is that? The mother have to put a candle or whatsoever it is, the soft candle, and burn she hand in that dia so, and sacred the navel, and the hand burning, the finger burning, and she sacred in that navel, just for you to come in this world and be a good human being in this world. And when we living in this world, devotees, we must show love to that lady we call Ma. His long arms are decked with many an honor. She's looking at all the mark on his skin and thing, and you know it had different mark on his skin, and you know what they say? What they say when a lady making a child and she in family way and she want crab to eat and she ain't get what has happened? And you just say all that, mommy? Well, 1 or 2 little mark and things she must be looking at now, you know, if a red bean or what it is, you know, sometimes you want red bean to eat. All these things is truth. It's true things, you know? It's true things. But these things will leave out, you know. These things will leave out. The small teeth and the red lips, devotees, when you're looking at the teeth now, the mother does see that first. The mother sometimes does see the first step. The first step. The mother looking and seeing all these things, devotees. And you take that same foot, what she monitoring that for weeks to see when you're going to make the first step. And that same foot you just take sometime, the children, and they do what they do to their mother. Beyond the full on the forehead, all the lines here, devotees, she watching all the lines on the forehead. She watching everything. His ears most beautiful and the cheeks most lovely, devotees. His sweet lip sync prattle most delightful to hear. The first set of language that child speak is Sanskrit. All children, all animals. The first language they speak is Sanskrit. And I'm going to prove that to you now. What is the first thing you just hear when a child start to cry, born? As they're born, you just say, kaha, kaha. That is Sanskrit. All children just do that. Could be what could be animals, all animals that do the same thing. Kaha, kaha. Kaha mean what? Where am I? All the time it was dark out in the light. Where am I? Kaha, kaha. Just be asking that question. Kaha. But nobody doesn't really take it on, you know. Kaha, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? In this beautiful place. His sweet lip sync prattle. Sometimes the child talk in some kind of language is only the mother does understand. Sometimes you there and you say, what you say? The mother could tell you exactly what the child say. This is the love that a mother does grow up with her children, devotees. So while they are alive in this world, devotees, we have to and we must look the book showing us here. The book showing us what the Bible says. Honor thy mother and father, because thy days shall be forever and long. It says that. Delightful to hear lustrous and combing was here when you hear comb, you trim it yet, you combing it, all kind of helicopter and thing. You tie it with the rubber band, it like a frill on top of it. And you say, look how you looking at all this nice little thing that you're enjoying with this child, devotees. When you're growing up, you know, you have little pictures and things like how Papi on the bike day. You have all these pictures from memory, you know, memoir. Finally, what it says here, devotees, you know, this bhajan says, some people, devotees, in this world, some people singing and some people crying. Sometimes we go in Shraddha Ramayana, devotees, and you know what happened? We read in here and people crying right here, and it have a cooking not too far. People dancing and breaking away down there. God, where are you? Where are you sitting and giving this all to your children? Some dancing and some crying. Some singing and some crying. Some grieving and some singing. Where are you? All of us could sing together, devotees. Finally, we do this bhajan, then Mami go sing our next bhajan, and then we go close off. All of us could sing together. This bhajan, what it says? Koi roe, koi gaye, kaisa tera sansar malik. कोई समझ नहीं पाए तेरा काज हो बाहर मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार. You know, it says, oh Lord, what kind of world is this? Oh Master, when some are crying and some are singing, no one can understand this business of yours, oh Lord. Where are you? Where are you, oh Lord? Where are you sitting and distributing all this sorrow and all this happiness to your children? The bhajan says, what it says? Char jaye jabar nab sera, panchi sir dhun roye. कोई न जाने दर्द किसी का सब मतलब मेरो. अंबर नीर बहाए धरती करे पुकार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार. The bhajan says, what it says? When the nest of the birds has been ruined, they shed many tears. No one knows the suffering and pain of another person, for everyone is lost in self-interest. The sky showers water on the request of the earth, and everyone, devotees, is in shock singing, and some is in shock enjoying themselves and crying, devotees. What the bhajan says? Oh, समझ नहीं पाए तेरा काज हो बाहर मालिक कैसा तेरा कोई रोए कोई गाए कैसा तेरा संसार. Bhajan says again, what it says? जिनके संग तूने रात बनाए फूलों के संग खाते जाने कहाँ किसे जगने बैठ कर तू ये सुख दुख रोए। पतझड़ जहाँ मुस्काए रोए वही बहार। मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। Finally he says, O Lord, you have made the night as well as the day. You have made the flowers as well as the thorns. No one know where you are sitting and distributing this pain and pleasure to your children. In autumn the trees shed their leaves, smilingly, and there's also a cry of joy. Bhajan say what it says. Oh, कोई समझ नहीं पाए तेरा कारोबार। मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। प्रेम से बोले श्री वामपति महादेव की जय। There is so many information to give out, devotees, and the time is so limited. And finally they say, thus the mother and the father of the world delighted the people of the city. Shiva told Parvati that this shows how who have devotedly adored the feet of their Lord are being repaid by him. These things does not go unnoticed, devotees. When you do something good, you do something good in your home, and right in the road, nobody will hear it. If you do something bad, sometimes some people call me from America and they say, Bob, you hear that? And right in the village there, and I hear bad things travel. You hear he fell down the people's house there? The bad thing just travel faster than the good thing, devotees. Sometimes you do 100 good and nobody sees and nobody hears. As you do something bad in this world, everybody knows and everybody hears. So we have to believe in God, devotees. Sometimes we make a deal with God, you never make a deal with God. You know how to make a deal with God? The boatman? The boatman said, he said, Lord, if you allow me to wash your feet, I am going to take you across this beautiful river, Ganga. He said, Pahile first. Pahile means first. I want to wash your feet. पहिले पाँव पखारू प्रभु निज गंगा पार उतारो। प्रभु फिर गंगा पार उतारो। He said, first I want to do something for your Lord, and then I am going to take you across this ocean, devotees. He made a deal with God, Ganga par utaro, Prabhu ji, pahle paao pakharu, Prabhu mera Ganga par utaro. He made a deal. We could make a deal with God. Listen, I'm going to tell you a very serious deal you could make with God. Some of your family is sick, devotees. You try this and you'll see how it works magic in your life. Some of your family is sick, one of your family member is sick. You take a red flowers and a $10 and go by Mother Durga feet and a pitya, and you put it by Mother Durga feet, and those say, Ma, I am putting this here for you, and I want you to go to the bedside of my whosoever it is, and I want you to place your hands on their head, and I want to relieve them from their distress and their pain, O Mother. Ma, and when, don't say if, because we are not God, to say, when they get relief and when they get good, I am going to offer something in your name. and leave that there and let the flowers dry there, devotees, and you go, see how magic does work. But don't look for God only when you're in trouble, because then you go have a trouble. You go say, hey, who is you? I never see, where are you from? Make yourself known to God. Make yourself known to God. Don't only wait until I squeeze my hand and say, oh God, He does remind us, Only when I'm in trouble, I'm looking for God. When I'm happy and I celebrate my birthday, nobody looking for God at that time. When I'm in trouble, no real trouble, I'm going in the temple. No, I go in temple. I'm not saying anybody here. I'm not saying that happened to anybody here. But it happens. That is reality I'm speaking. I never see you in church. After 6 years, I see you in church. Something wrong, boy. Boy, my father ain't feeling so well now, but I'll come to see you. This is what we do and this is what we say. I am a human being. I am sometimes guilty of things too. I am not perfect. I am not a saint. There have no saint alive in this world, No saint at all. So while we are alive in this world, devotees, I know Papi get the best treatment that he could ever deserve. He got that treatment. He lived the life, devotee. He worked hard together with Mommy. They work hard and they do what they have to do, and they have beautiful children and grandchildren, devotees. And I know he gets what he deserves, devotees. And I feel so proud and happy to be given the opportunity to come and do what I did tonight for Papi. And Wednesday I will be here to do the final rite, the Bhandara, devotees, for him. And the first day I came here, and the first prayers that I did, I think was a Ramayana I did. I can't remember what I did, a prayers. I did a prayers for him. Devotees. He meet me by the garage there, and he couldn't tell me that he is so satisfied, because that's my normal way in doing my thing. I just take my time and I explain when I leave here, when I done here, you must learn something, You can't leave here and say, but that man could play a drum, boy. You don't hear nothing Baba say, but you hear the drum. No, you must learn something, devotees. You must learn. This is my purpose. This is my duty. So I feel happy, devotees, to be given the opportunity by Stara and by his children and the other daughter and by, devotees. And whatsoever it is, and I could do it in my power at any time, I tell them to call on me. Not only here, devotees, anywhere. Wheresoever I do funeral and thing, the family, that is the time they need you, So I feel my duty is to be there in sad times and be there in happy times. Not only when they're happy and I have the big prayers and the big Ramayana, and as a funeral and be sad, you can't find them at all. I do operate so. Somebody see me in Mount Hope climbing the stairs the other day and they say, Baba, what are you doing here? I say, here is where I had to be. Here is where I had to be. I can't only do the puja for the people when they're in Mount Hope. Yeah, God, well, God bless them. And I have to go and take my Dulahin and I go and I'm walking up the stairs in Mount Hope. I go in there too. The priest had to be there. Not only when you're in communion in the church, then you see the priest. He has to be there. This is his duty. All the time you're doing the person puja and thing, the person in Mount Hope now, you wait there. I ain't see Baba here. Baba, what are you doing here? Oh, you mean what are you doing here? So I can't be here? I go and see so and so. And when the person see me, devotees, and they hold my hand, they say, look, Baba, come, oh gosh, she feel better one time. That is the joy and the happiness, devotees. When we're doing things while we're not alive in this world, we must try our best to do what we could do. We're going to hear one bhajan, and then we're going to do closing prayer, and our next bhajan, devotees.
जय 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 शिवा जय विनाशी जय 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 शिवा जय विनाशी हरता पाप कदत यम पासे हरता पाप कदत यम जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी भक्त प्रदाता जग का दाता भक्त प्रदाता जग का दाता आनंद घन का आनंद वासे आनंद घन का आनंद रासे जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी अजय अविनाशी अजय अविनाशी जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी गत गत व्यापी परम प्रतापी गत गत व्यापी परम प्रतापी सेवत पर सोनर सन्यासे सेवत पर सोनर सन्यासे जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी अजय अविनाशी अजय अविनाशी जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी महादयालो परम कृपालो महादयालो परम कृपालो गिरिजाराने जन के दासे गिरिजाराने जन के दासे जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी सेवक प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का सेवक प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का मुक्ति करो आनंद बनवासे मुक्ति करो आनंद बनवासे जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी जय 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 शिवा जय अविनाशी
प्रेम से बोल श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. Anybody else want to sing a song? Mommy? Oh gosh. Maybe I really know that one. I really know the words in it. I know the words in it, Mommy. Truly. प्रेम से बोल श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. Finally here devotees, it said koti kam koti chabisham sharira nilakanja gambira. She look at all the parts of the child body and make sure that the child, the mother does make sure that the child is in perfect condition. Which mother want to have an incomplete child? None. Which mother? You know, it says now, it is saying, I remember the saying from small, always a bad child, never a bad mother. But you know, in this time now, we have to change that statement. We have some bad mothers now. Remember some years back where they find a little baby in the washing machine, in the old washing machine, in the garbage bag? That is a good mother. So we have to change that statement now, devotees. There are some bad mothers now available. You're hearing some gruesome act with some little children, making children and all, leaving them all on the wayside and things. So this book, all the different books shows us, devotees, that the mother plays 85 to 90% of the role in the home, you know. When a mother and father have 4 children, the mother does have 5, you know. Who is the next one? Who does say, you iron my shirt? Where you cook? You make up the bed? Who does say that? The mother will put the father and the children around the dining table, and she will take out food and give all of them, and she will go back in the kitchen to take out for she. And if it have enough for she would never tell none of them nothing. She take out how much that she have in the kitchen, and she comes sit down and eat. That is the mother. The foundation of the home is the mother. The father, we just play man, you know. We just only play man. But the mother, devotees, if I go at your home and I ask you, I say, how are you doing? All right, okay. Just bring a head pin for me now. You could bring a head pin for me? If I ask the mother, she goes straight and bring a head pin for me. You see the power? Power of the mother. That's the power of the mother. And we must always ensure for our mother alive in this world that she have a smile on her face. The day that smile go on, devotees, God doesn't want to intervene, you know. God say, I pray that. The mother is that powerful. That mother could bring you in this world. You know what is that? That job? To bring a child in this world? That job is not an easy job, devotees. So that Lord showing us here, Sundar Sravana Suchi Kapola. He says, Sundar Khan Sang Sundar Jinka Gal Ke Totally Bole Prema Magana Kaunshilya. It says, Ihi Vidhi Rama Jagata Pitumatu. He make his mother and father happy, that little child. The mother and the father does play a role in bringing up that child. The father does give him little horsey ride and thing. You know, he jump on the back and he go in horses. That's the father's job. The mother's job is to ensure that he bathe and he day in that crib and no fly and thing. Humbug him as he cry, mother will say. And the first person the child is called is Ma. Ma. First thing, the heifer too. They have little heifer, they have 2 little heifer. I say, listen to when the heifer calling you. Ma, you have no mother. They're calling you, they know you as Ma. The heifer does go, Ma. Listen to that cry. Mother. Mother is very important. So whosoever have their mother devotees, try to be blessed. Is prakar Ramachandra ji ko Jagat Mata Pita Ayodhya ki, everybody was happy in that village. Everybody was happy, and finally what it say here? You know, the brothers, the love that the brothers show, that Lord Sri Ram showed that love to his brother Lakshman too. You know in Ramayana what it says? Utho Lakhan lal priya bhare, Utho Lakhan lal priya bhare, Jasha tumhari dekh Ram ki आँखें भर भर आए, उठो लखन लाल की. When Lakshmana got the shot with the arrow, devotees, and he lie on the lap of that Lord Sri Ram said, Lord, brother, wake up and speak to me. Tears in the eyes of that Lord. He said, wake up, brother. Wake up and speak to me. What I am going to tell my mother that happened to you. Wake up, oh brother, wake up. The bhajan says, what it says? माता पिता पत्नी की माया, माता पिता भाई के कारण सब बिसराया, छोड़ आयो जाका सुख तुमने योगी रूप बनाया, जिस भाई के लिए युद्ध में प्राण की बाजी लगाई, तो लखन लाल की भाषा तुम्हारी देख राम की आँखें भर भर आई. Please brother, wake up and speak to me. You are lying in that condition there. I don't know if you are dying. Oh brother, please wake up. The bhajan says, what I am going to tell my mother when I return to the city of Ayodhya. And that Lord Sri Ram, tears in his eyes and crying, and he said, what he says? मात कौशल्या और सुमित्रा जो हत बात तिहारी. Mother Kaushalya, Mother Keki and Sumitra is waiting for you. How I am going to tell them, devotees? The bhajan says, पंत हीरती हाल मेरा की आखे आगे चारी, तो लखन लाल प्रिय भारी, दशा तुम्हारी देख राम की आँखियाँ भर भर आई, तो लखन लाल प्रिय भारी, तो लखन लाल प्रिय भारी. प्रेम से बोल श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. Then you know the bhajan, it continued to say, Sita made that mistake and she got taken away by that Lord, by Ravan. Sita Ravan ke garbaji मेघनाथ चढ़ी आयो, जगत के गे नारी के कारण राम ने बंधु गवायो. भजन से धीरज छोटू जात सभी का, धीरज छोटू जात सभी का, कब से तेरा लगाई, तो लखन लाल प्रिय भारी, तो लखन लाल प्रिय भारी. A brother, biological brother and a biological sister devotees, that bond and that love should never, never differ for nothing material in this world. I am the sibling of 6 devotees, and I reach this age now in my life. I will tell you my age, there is no problem. I celebrated 65 not too long. And I can't remember having an enemy. I don't have an enemy. I don't. It's not a boast, it's not a self-praise. I don't. Who choose to be my enemy is up to them. Everybody I see. If I know you trying to be my enemy, every time I see you, I say, hey, how you going? You're looking nice today, man. And I let you torture yourself. You can't do me anything. I calling you out. Enemies is not for us devotees in this world. For a little something, for a little this, for a little that, we cannot, devotees. So what happened in this world, we have to show love to one another. What is for me would go all over the world and come back right on my lap. Nobody could take it. What is not for me would be all around me and I can't get it. Because you know why? God says it's not for me. So forget about the plum tree inside by and the hanging over by me. And my father, they give me it so, and my grandfather, and my Aji, and my Aja, and my Nani, and focus. Focus, devotees. What has to happen will. God put everything on this earth, and He put children, nice, beautiful children in this world. So we put our hands together, we close our eyes, and we thank God for being here. Lord, we thank you immensely for being here, for giving us the opportunity to do what we have done in this world. We are not perfect, Lord. If by any means while doing this puja here we have made any mistake or we said anything to offend anyone, please forgive us, O Lord. We are your children and we sit before you and we ask in you, please, wheresoever that soul of Papi may be, if that soul is suffering for any amenities in life, be it food, water, clothing or shelter, please, O Lord, we ask in you, it is our desire that you make that soul comfortable wheresoever that soul is. The children and the family who are alive in this world, give them the courage and give them the strength so they can carry on and do everything that is right for that soul. All of us could say a little word of prayer in our hearts together, whether what language you speak to God. Say a little word on Papi's soul together. This great leader said the voice of the people is definitely the voice of God. All of us can say a little word of prayer in our hearts together. Yat purvam prabhuna kritam sukhavina Sri Shambhuna Durgamam Srimad Ramapadabja Bhakti Manisham Pratayur Ramayanam Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardhanam Yat Pujtam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadasme Yantu Deva Gana Sarve Tatha Puja Badayamamikim Ishtadeva Prasidiyartam Punaraya Gamanaya Cha. If while doing this course tonight I have said anything to offend anyone, please, I beg you, please don't keep me in mind. Please forgive me. Lord, please forgive me. Together, everyone. Shiva Hare, Shiva Rama Sake Prabhu, Trividita Panivarana He, Aja Jani Sharayadava Pahima, Shiva Hare Vijayam Kurumevaram, Shiva Hare Vijayam Prajidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam. Everyone together. Tvameva Mata Shapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Chasakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. One voice. Prem se bol Sri Pavanaputra Hanuman ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, Jai Jai Sitaram. Devotees, on behalf of the bereaved family, I must thank each and every one of you for sitting so patiently. You know, when I see devotees sitting patient devotees, I could go on and on and on, you know. I feel to go on and on and on. But close in prayer and to do the vote of thank, I think I want to call the spokesperson of the family. I know he's the spokesperson of the family, I want to call him to do a little vote of thanks now for everybody. Come. Ravi, I forgot his name.
Sitaram, thank you very much, Pandit Param. A very enlightening reading this evening, and I want to say thanks also to Priya and her brother and for the two boys. A job well done, and I have met them for the first time in a very long time for the funeral. And I must say, Priya, congrats on these two boys. You're doing a very good job, especially in a time when we need our boys, we need our fathers. And being an educator myself, many times I call for parents and I never see the father. Father never visits. Maybe if I have 20 students, I might meet 3 fathers. All right, fathers are missing in the homes, fathers are missing in the families, fathers are missing in the churches, in the temples, in the mosques, in the synagogues. We're not seeing fathers. So I want to congratulate you here tonight, and for friends and families who are here tonight, thank you very much on behalf of the family, the immediate and the extended families, neighbors, well-wishers, and for those who are viewing online as well. We want to say thank you on behalf of everyone for all the extended wishes, and we look forward for your continued support. Not just for tonight, not just for the funeral. Continue to check in, continue to pay a little word to the family, make a phone call, send a text message. It's important. Good night, Sitaram.
Thank you, Ravi. I think the family has some refreshments to pass now, Shalini. Right, you can continue, and in the meantime, we'll have a little music now, slowly. And we also want to say thank you very much to the technical crew that is here, the camera and the online services. They're doing a wonderful job. I know on the funeral day they did a wonderful job, because I don't know, I didn't see part of it, but I know they are doing a wonderful job. So I say hats off to them. God bless you, and may the sky be the limit for you all. You can go on strength to strength, devotees. God bless you all. By extension, until we meet again, God bless each and every one of you. Sitaram. I know we're going to meet on the Bhandara day, and well, the Bhandara, I can't eat anything now, so they're saving all the food from my mommy. On the Bhandara day, they say I go eat all the food and things. So we want to see on the Bhandara day, devotees, be safe on your way back home. Until we meet again, Sitaram.